Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your summer solstice reading. The summer solstice is on the 20th of June, when the sun enters into Cancer, a time that brings the need for us to check in with our bodies and with our emotions. This is where patience is required. There has been a lot of movement and change since probably about the beginning of the new year. And so much energy, so much pressure is creating opportunities for us to gain greater alignment, make greater changes, but we need a chance to check in with ourselves to make sure that we're moving in a direction that is, in fact, supporting us. I want to remind you that this is a general reading and that it's not going to resonate with all of you. Of course, my intention is that most of you will resonate with at least some, if not most, of the reading. However, if you would like a personal reading, the information for that is in the description box below. I appreciate your presence here now. Thank you so much for your support. Aquarius, your overall energy, the Ace of Pentacles. You have manifested an opportunity. You have manifested a new beginning or some portal in which you're able to level up something that you're already doing to new heights. You're generating ideas for economic prosperity, for wealth, for abundance in whatever form you desire it. But this is about truly understanding the value of what it is you are about to create. Your intention here is to create a tool, a resource, an opportunity, a vehicle for greater wealth, greater abundance for others. Something that is long lasting, something's permanent, something that is going to require a team, a community to manifest. Something that is going to build not only wealth for your team, but is going to create the access to that for others. This is something you are bringing into existence, something you are willing. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, the way others see you, I see the Five of Swords, which is indicating a fair amount of resistance. Ironically, the resistance superficially is external to you, is people poking holes in your ideas, people not understanding what it is that you want to do, or belittling your efforts, perhaps laughing at your ideas. This may be causing you to doubt your own program, your own vision, your efforts. However, the real resistance is coming from within you. People of this sort are always attached to anything that we want to do, particularly when it is big, when it is significant, when it represents a power, one that folks may not feel that they're a part of or that they understand, or that this is going to take you away from them. So there is a lot of resistance to your ideas, and the burden is upon you to clarify your ideas to whatever extent you can, despite the resistance you may be getting. However, when you realize that your ideas are merely ideas for which you are requesting support, you're seeking support for these new ideas, new opportunities, new plans, you are merely recognizing and understanding you're absorbing this feedback, but you're really not letting it not letting it take you or trigger you to an instance of feeling inadequate, not feeling up to the task, feeling like you don't have enough, don't know enough. In fact, the fact of asking for help is why you're asking for help. And rather than internalizing yourself as being in a weak position, Understanding the value of your ideas indicates to you, lets you know that these are folks that simply can't get on board and that there are people who can. Help is available to you. You just have to know where to ask for it, where to find it. And this is indicating to you that your customary framework or hierarchy or chain of command is resistant, but that there is help, there is support. Their resistance is indicative of their inability to be as imaginative as you, to recognize the value of your vision, and to refuse, perhaps out of ignorance, to invest in that. In the first house, we have the Queen of Cups. This is interesting because I do see you really trying to understand this resistance for its value. You're really looking at the arguments against your idea and you're really taking those in. You're not accepting that your idea is not valid, but there's something about your desire to communicate and express the value in your ideas, whether these particular group of individuals or this authority or the bank or the president of the company or your supervisor understands them. You know that it feels incumbent upon you to explain to these people why, whether they participate or not, your ideas are the wave. This is something that has value for others down the line. And you're doing that because you have so much belief and faith in what it is you're proposing, what it is you're doing, that you know that if they don't participate at some level, they'll be left behind. And your goal is to support everyone, to give access to everyone. So if these investors are not willing to invest, you want to help them understand how they're missing the bigger idea. In the fourth house, the house of your family, your foundation, your roots, the Seven of Swords. Boy, this is coming up a lot for others in the very same position. This has to do with the way that you manage resistance. And at a more personal level, you have such a deep understanding of the value of your ideas, of the value of your delivery of these ideas, that when you meet with this resistance, you understand clearly that it is about fear. However, at this point, you're processing the resistance in detail. You're really hearing what is underneath the no that you're receiving and really picking that apart so that you can choose your battles, understanding that on the path to developing this resource, this process, to building this service or product, you will encounter many haters, many resistors, many who dismiss your idea, laugh at it, project a sense of foolhardiness onto you as being ill thought out or ill proposed. And in fact, you now realize that this resistance really just impacts upon the way that others do not see, do not believe, or it elicits fear out of others. And so the same energy that you have invested in helping others to understand your ideas is coming from a deeper place in you. You're really understanding that this is your path. Communicating, sharing these ideas with others, whatever place they're at along the spectrum of help, assistance, or resistance, you understand that selecting your battles are ones that you will encounter over and over again on this path. You know that you can get support from this. That's not your concern. Your concern is helping others to understand the direction you're moving, because it's going to impact them sooner or later. In the seventh house, the house of your significant others, we have the Nine of Swords. This feels a little more personal. In some ways, this is tied up with the resistance you're encountering. In some ways, it is about almost the brilliance of your plan, the brilliance of your proposal, how comprehensive it is, and how difficult it has been for you to get to where you're going. You are understanding that this kind of resistance and sabotage, betrayal, being dismissed, not being given credit for your ideas, having your ideas taken uh, without receiving any of the credit. These are experiences or examples of experiences you've encountered along the way. And you're now understanding that the resistance was essential to your ability to develop this plan, this proposal, this vision that you're now operating from. Your ability to understand why these challenges, this resistance, is actually helped to heal you is part of what you are experiencing. It's almost as though the more pushback you receive, the more you understand how necessary what you're doing is. And you may be desiring to help and support and explain and uh, paint a fuller picture of this, not so that people will come along or jump on your bandwagon, but because you thoroughly believe that this is something that is going to have to be dealt with by, for instance, people in your industry along the way. They're going to be impacted by what you're creating. And something tells me that what you're creating is part of a larger movement within your industry, as an example. That there is a greater desire to assist people, to include those who are deserving of support than what the industry currently identifies and recognizes as its audience. There's a very similar message that I'm getting that I got in the Gemini message, and I don't know if you may be involved in that. I don't like to throw out astrological signs because I think that supports the uh, lack of understanding that popular astrology promotes. We are not a sign. We are not a planet. We are a complex composite of many elements, and that includes signs. So that's just a kind of general disclaimer as to why I don't tell you what sign your new beloved is going to be, because it can be any sign. I've pulled from the soul's journey, freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I adore this because it's helping me understand the what's underneath this resistance and your ability to be generous in the face of this resistance. You have a brilliant idea, you have a productive idea, and yet you are being patient with those that have said no, are saying no, that don't get it, think it's funny, or just are missing the point. And it's because you're free. Their resistance doesn't stop you, doesn't shackle you, doesn't limit you, and that's really powerful. And I pulled powerful warrior from the Hummingbird Oracle. Do not feel small. You are stronger, braver, and more valued than you know. It's time to tap into your true source of power. There you have it. I believe, Aquarius. You are freedom. You are creative, intuitive power that symbolizes your freedom to think and act as you know to be best. I'm going to clarify the Queen of Cups in the first house with the Wheel of Fortune, in the second house in the World, in the third house. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm really sensing the reason that what you're doing is almost comes forward as a leveling up. This is something you've already been doing. You're just taking it to another level as you understand its value. And you are closing out a cycle of playing small, of being kept small perhaps, of being satisfied with being marginalized in whatever effort that you participated in for a while. But because of your awareness of your freedom, you're no longer resisting the resistance. You're no longer judging the resistance or internalizing it as being a reflection of you. You're free. You understand that the resistance of others is just another opportunity for you to spread the love, to impart the wisdom and value of what it is you're working towards, and to not convince others to join you, but convince them that they may be missing something that they will be impacted by nevertheless. And so you are closing out this cycle. You may be leaving one job to start another, understanding that this has been a preparation for you, that you're now ready to move on to a new chapter that you are in control of, that you own, that you have manifested, because you certainly didn't manifest it from the current conditions of your present employment, as an example. The universe is really understanding that this is now your moment to truly build your legacy, something that is going to benefit large communities in the world. After all, Aquarius, this is why this is like a key to the opportunities that Pluto in Aquarius is offering, particularly to you as a key player in this transition we're capable of as a humankind. In the fourth house, the Seven of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Oh, yeah. I'm just really applauding the sense of compassion that you are responding to this resistance with. You definitely understand that you're dropping your obligations and commitments to a process you've been involved in for a while. You understand that the perhaps the governing principle or path of your current efforts is one that does not resonate with your goals, that you have been working on behalf of others that don't see your needs being addressed, or the needs of people like you or people that you see. And instead, these ideas, the resistance becomes a lot of noise, a lot of people offering unsolicited advice and uh, uh, justifying the strategies that have always been in play, the way things have been done. This is what is being offered to you as a response to the opportunity to plan your proposal. And so there's a big release that you're experiencing and letting go in shifting your energies towards making what you do, bringing it to another level, or moving away from this environment altogether, whatever that means. Because I don't see you leaving an industry you're engaged in, but I do see you becoming more independent, for instance. Breaking off into a project, perhaps even being a consultant with the power of your proposal, the power of your vision, but you can no longer labor under the conditions of this, what you see as limitation, a willful ignorance, a lack of understanding the necessity for the services or products you're building for others, for everyone, the need for inclusion. The Nine of Swords in the seventh house is clarified by the Four of Pentacles in the eighth house and the Five of Cups in the ninth house. So, yeah, I do see you struggling, well, perhaps recognizing that you have made a contribution, you have achieved something here. And it's a little bit uh, double-sworded in that you understand the achievement you've made, the ground that you've been able to cover, establish yourself, the foundation you've laid here. You're trying to hold on to that because there's a way in which you are understanding that your perhaps continued experience of disappointment, lack of launch, failure to launch, um, inability to find success in the various projects or execution of your responsibilities has really been about your ability to hold on to what you've achieved, the foundation that is grounding this manifested portal of abundance for you, this chance to level up. And you're realizing that these experiences, this resistance, however hurtful or damaging it has been, it's certainly been disappointing. You are better connected to who you are. And one of the things that you've reclaimed is your passion and compassion, is your fire, is your vision. And this is, in very practical terms, what you're rescuing from your current environment. In the 10th house, the Five of Swords is clarified by the Judgment in the 11th house and the Strength in the 12th house. Yeah. Something tells me that you're going to really, really land in this beautiful Queen of Cups energy for you. This is the ability, because you know where you're going, your consciousness has been sufficiently raised so that you understand your purpose, your mission, and the necessity of the world for what you have to offer. It's essential. And the road to actuating this plan, to implementing your ideas on the ground, is going to require a lot of strength of vision. And this is where your vision lands every time. It brings you back to your wholeness of self, your freedom, your ability to recognize the necessity for this tool, this resource, this uh, thing that you're creating is an expression of love. And that love, the more you actuate it, the more loving and whole you feel as a person. It's almost restoring your heart to you, your sense of wholeness, your sense of completeness, being able to check in with the sense of open-heartedness, of openness, of truly understanding and recognizing the fears that your success, your growth, your path evokes in others. And really taking the time, the love, the energy to really listen and perhaps advise others. So that is why, at some level, I do see the potential of a consultancy. As you are developing your plan, you may be hiring yourself out to other people in your industry that are interested in your vision, that are intrigued by the implications of your vision, by the potential healing that you offer, and that your products or services offer. I'm going to finish up this reading, Aquarius, with the Yogic Path Oracle, and I hope I've been as clear as necessary for you to understand this really big message that I'm getting for you. And I pulled the card Prana, and I'm going to look that up. Prana. And prana is flexible and creative, vital life force and breath. When you are pranaful, you are beaming with vital life force. Energy flows easily throughout your body, and you are at one with divine consciousness. You dance through life with fluid movement, and your energy extends out of your body, felt by those surrounding you. You are in control of your breath and utilize it to move full force around you, bringing your mind, body, and spirit into balance. Continue to breathe into the light that exists within you. This is your connection to universal energy. Thank you so much, Aquarius. I so appreciate you. Until next time, namaste.